Everyone's like, what is going on with the refs? And I'm like, I don't know. And you finding me $500 is not going to do. Just the competitor that I am. I'm fierce, I'm sassy. I stick up for my teammates, stick up for myself. And so sometimes I think that's okay to be feisty and to be yourself.
What Sophie said there?
Just a competitor that I am fierce and sassy, and I stand up for my teammates and for myself. I think it is okay to be feisty and to be yourself. What Sophie said turned out to be an understatement. When she joined, the Fever fans were excited because this team desperately needed what she promised, which was real feistiness. They needed someone who could deter the non-stop cheap shots aimed at Caitlin Clark. But Sophie brought more than fire. She brought something fans noticed right away, which was true loyalty.
Into the trees and things happen. And Kiki Iriafen right there, they had an extra little shove. And she's just like, what I do? Well, you kind of go up, and then Sophie Cunningham pops right up and has a lot to say.
And in the WNBA, that was rare. After a season where the media downplayed Caitlin Clark's impact and the refs refused to give her a fair whistle, and even Nike dragged its feet on promotion, it was refreshing to finally hear a player tell the truth. Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA. She is transforming it, and that honesty made Sophie the #1 target. It did not take long before other players began testing her. In the preseason, we saw our first glimpse of Savage Sophie. Against the Mystics, rookie Kiki Fen took her down, and Sophie stood right up and basically said, do not ever try that again. That preseason moment was only a preview of what was coming the rest of the season. Because if a rookie could take down a vet like Sophie with no fear, what chance did Caitlin Clark have? It was open season on the Fever, and Sophie's role was about to become crystal clear. Game after game, the whistle stayed buried in the refs' pockets. Caitlin was hit hard with no calls while other players got away with everything. It was the same thing we saw in the previous season, and Sophie finally had enough that on June 17th in the Commissioner's Cup against the Connecticut Sun, the officials let the game spiral out of control. First, J.C. Sheldon swiped at Caitlin's eyes. Then Marina Mabrey leveled her with a body shot. No ejections, no protection, no accountability. And that is when Sophie snapped. What she did next became legendary among Caitlin Clark fans. It was pure payback. A hard foul, a headlock, a shove, and a simple day. Do something. Up to this point, Sophie had always been fiery. But this was different. This was the moment where the switch flipped. From then on, she played with zero fear and zero hesitation, and it did not stop on the court. After the game, reporters asked about the altercation, and Sophie made it clear this was not about one play or one moment. It was about something bigger. She said it was just part of the game and that the refs played a big part in letting things build up for years by not protecting the star player of the WNBA. She said she will always protect her teammates, and that is who she is. Sophie had watched the mistreatment of Caitlin Clark from afar. Now she was living it in real time, and she had reached her limit. That moment made Sophie Cunningham a household name. Fans embraced her instantly. Her jersey sold out in minutes. Her social media exploded with new followers, and Sophie leaned into it. She posted a TikTok with a Selena Gomez track as a wink to the J.C. Sheldon takedown, and it went mega viral. The comments section was filled with one message: thank you for standing up for Caitlin. It was a multi-million-dollar moment. Overnight, Sophie went from a role player to one of the most marketable names in the league, but with every new fan came new enemies. The media slammed her retaliation on J.C. Sheldon while staying silent about Mabrey's hit or Sheldon's swipe at Caitlin. A petition even appeared demanding that she be kicked out of the league for unsportsmanlike conduct. Then the WNBA fined her $400. Most players would have gone quiet. Most would have tried to let the controversy fade. But not Sophie. Every quote from her became sharper. Every clip more direct. Every word more fearless. This was not just basketball anymore. Sophie chose Warpoint 5 days after the J.C. Sheldon moment. Sophie arrived at pregame, wearing a Barstool Sports Trays Letches shirt featuring her Caitlin and Lexi Hull. It was a clear message about where her loyalty stood, shoulder to shoulder with Caitlin. And it absolutely infuriated certain corners of the WNBA. Trey's Letches 3 Milks was interpreted as a reference to the 3 white players on the Fever. Sophie knew exactly what she was doing.
That's a flagrant foul. It's a hard foul. You could say it's a play on the ball, but